Well, I did say this is what happened last time during the Trump administration, the last time he put tariffs on. That there were no tariffs because Trump just gave out exemptions left, right, and center and sort of made having these tariffs completely pointless. In fact, at the time of doing this video, and when this video may go out, the Canadian and Mexican tariffs might not even be there. Trump might have completely, fully U-turned on them. Because right now, surprise, 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 Chuck, he's giving out exemptions already. He's giving out the first exemption to come out, as far as we know now, is on car makers. So car manufacturers already have an exemption. So the question is, who's next? And at what point do all these tariffs just become useless? That yeah, there might be tariffs on Mexico and Canada, but they're not really because everything's exempt. And it's pointless. So by the time this video goes out, Trump may have completely U-turned, because that's what we're hearing at the moment. Like I say, I must stress at this moment, we are hearing that he is completely U-turned on the Canadian and Mexican tariffs, that those tariffs are now not going to go into effect. So we'll see what happens, of course, when we come around to April 2nd, because as I talked about in my Pony Club video with you guys and the members and the Patreon as well, and by the way, if you want to join that, links down below. Yeah, we discussed the fact that April 2nd looks like something is going to be applied to us on that date. So, you know, time's ticking. If you want to get anything from America, get it now. Because otherwise, at the start of next month, it could suddenly become a lot more expensive. So, yeah, I'm quite a board game fanatic, and I'll tell you this now. Suddenly, I've been looking at any purchases from American board game companies, and can I make them within the next couple of months, so that, you know, if I do want to buy that board game in the future, I'm not having to shell out even more to get it. Thank you to the tariffs on that one. But before we do go getting more into this, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. Down below, there are links to my Patreon page. There's a one-off donation link called Buy Me Coffee, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, as always, there is the Pony Club down below as well. So thank you very much to everyone who does help and support the channel that way. Even if you do just click the like and share button, it all helps. So let's crack on then into this. So car makers windbreak from Trump's tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Like I say, I think this is maybe just the first in a very long series of exemptions that are about to be made, or Trump is going to completely U-turn on this. So by the time this video comes out, he may have already U-turned. He may have already U-turned on the tariffs. So Donald Trump said that he would temporarily now spare car makers from the new 25% import tariff imposed on Canada and Mexico, just a day after the tariffs came into effect. The announcement by the White House came even as Trump continued to blast Canada for not doing enough to stop drugs from entering the US. And if you listen to Justin Trudeau's speech, it's like such a minuscule amount that enters from Canada. You know, but Trump said, nothing has convinced me that it has stopped, as Trump wrote on social media after a phone call with the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, after the economic disruption caused by the new tariffs. News of the relief did happen to boost US shares, which closed at least higher after 2 days of declines had wiped out gains on the S&P 500, and had even since the presidential elections since November. The tariff exemption is for cars made in North America that comply with the continent's free existing trade agreement. The deal, which is of course negotiated by Trump during his first term, sets out rules for how much a car must be made in each country to qualify for duty-free treatment. And bear in mind, just a couple of weeks ago, Trump was saying that the deal he signed was terrible and awful. And who signed this terrible and awful deal? It was you, Trump. You signed that deal. Anyway, White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt said that Trump had backed a 1-month exemption to the tariff to the car industry after pleas from Ford and General Motors and Stellantis, which have now had supply chains that stretch across North America. So now, is this going to be a permanent exemption or is this just going to be a temporary exemption? We don't know. We don't know on that. Anyway, new tariffs, which are, of course, a tax on the applied goods after they enter the country, were poised to disrupt a third of all car production in North America within a week, according to the analysts of the S&P Global Monthly. Shares in Ford were up more than 5% after the announcement, while General Motors shares rose 7%. Stellantis shares in the US rose more than 9%. The president is open to hearing about additional examples, Ms. Leavitt added. He was always had open to dialogue, and he'll always do what he believes is right for the American people. So, is that exemption going to be permanent, or is it going to stay? Who knows? It might very well be permanent. Ford said in a statement that the company will continue to have a very healthy and candid dialogue with the administration and touted its investments in the United States. Goods were, of course, worth billions of dollars cross the borders of US, Canada, and Mexico each day, and their economies were all very deeply integrated. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce warned that the affordability would now hurt the business relationships and would suffer despite the changes now for targeted relief. We've seen this move before. President Trump's put tariffs in place and then doles out exemptions one at a time, said Matthew Holmes, the organization's chief of public policy. This is not how a long-term, lasting trade alliance is built. And yeah, that's what I think is going to happen as well over the next couple of weeks. We're just going to see Trump doling out exemptions left, right, and center because he wants businesses to come to him and kiss the ring. And then there's your exemption. Anyway, Ontario Premier Doug Ford told the Canadian media that the 1-month reprieve for automakers did not alter his plans for retaliation, which have now already included a halt to sales of US liquor in the province. Trump's moves and his threats now to impose reciprocal tariffs on countries around the world have also raised fears now of a wider trade war. And this is what, again, we spoke on the Pony Club and the Patreon episode about yesterday. If you want to go see that video, like I say, links down below, hit the subscribe button and go watch it. Like I say, if you are already subscribed, go give it a watch. It's gonna get April 2nd. Oh, that might be a very busy day. That might be a very busy day. Anyway, as well as Canada and Mexico, he goods with China, at least for additional tariff on Tuesday, raising the levies to now 20%, prompting the country to retaliate against US exports, including agricultural products, which, again, if you remember this last time, Trump had to massively bail out US farmers hit by this. He is probably going to have to do that again at some point. Canada also responded with its own retaliatory levies on all US goods after Washington's 25% tariffs on the two neighboring countries came into effect on Tuesday, affecting items now including peanut butter, oranges, and wine. And bear in mind, we are hearing at this moment Trump is going to U-turn on these tariffs. Whether that is true or not, we don't know. But he's already given out one exemption. He will probably give out a lot more exemptions in the coming days and weeks. Will he fully U-turn on these tariffs? Who knows? Like I say, it's the dumbest trade war in history. But there you go. Mexico also said it would respond with its own tariffs. They said, I didn't know quite where we would go this time and how it ends. I just hope that it ends quickly. said Iowa Bob Hagsith, a board president for the lobby group Farmers for Free Trade, which has now raised concerns about these tariffs. Big retailers in the US have already warned that the measures now will lead to higher prices on goods such as avocados within days, while economists are now forecasting economic recessions in both Canada and Mexico triggered by these tariffs. Trump has also acknowledged that his move may lead to short-term economic pain in the US, but he said he wants to protect US industry and boost manufacturing. This isn't how you do it. This is not how you do it at all. There have been economists and people who know this talking about this stuff constantly. And bear in mind, in his big ramble he went on in the Congress, he talked about getting rid of the CHIPS Act. I think that is a fantastic move for us over here because the CHIPS Act was massively economically damaging for us. Massively economically damaging for us. But if you want to get investment, what Biden did with the CHIPS Act is how you do it. Like Trump canceling that, getting rid of that. Oh boy, he's just given a lot of countries over here and us a massive favor by doing that. But hey, like I say, he doesn't give a damn because again, it was a Biden idea, so that's got to go. He has also cast new tariffs this week against goods from America's two neighbors, as well as China, as responding now to the flow of migrants and fentanyl across the border. Writing on social media, Trump said that he had to told Trudeau that the situation was not improving. He said that it's got to get better. That I said that is not good enough, Trump said. Trudeau has called the Trump administration claims about drugs completely bogus. The justification for the tariffs on his country. White House officials have said that Trump still intends to move ahead on the April 2nd with plans now for reciprocal tariffs on other countries around the world that he sees as treating the US unfairly. Like I said in that Pony Club video, get ready. April 2nd, we're going to find out what that means. And like I say, when is that? That's a Wednesday. Again, oh, we missed it on the geoscope. Damn. Anyway, but yeah, we'll find out. But we should be preparing for tariffs. We should be absolutely be preparing for tariffs to come and hit us. But I'll tell you this now: those tariffs, that's the final nail in the Brexit coffin. You've seen a lot of Brexiteers really, effing and jeffing and huffing and puffing about all these about this. But yeah, they're right. A lot of right wingers have been saying it very recently. That's the end of Brexit because this whole free trade world scenario, which the Brexiteers cast the world that it was going to go into, has not come to pass. So not only are we going to be tariffed by the US, but our closest trading partners, difficulties. And remember, a lot of companies compensated by increasing trade with America because of the problems with the agreement that we had with the withdrawal agreement, that it put up more barriers to trade. There is going to have to be a serious conversation about Brexit again. You can't escape it. So let's finish this off. There are going to be tariff. Let's be clear. But what's he thinking about which sections of the market that he may consider giving them a relief until we get to go? Of course, April 2nd, the Commerce Secretary Howard Lugin told Bloomberg on Wednesday. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll find out. And then you've got to hope Trump gives you an exemption or there is an exemption in place for your business. Otherwise, you've got a tariff. And they're coming. April 2nd. Less than a month away. If you are a company that trades with America or does any type of trade with America, be it goods or services, you need to be planning. You need to be planning of what might happen. Because otherwise, Yeah. Yeah, it's going to get, I think, very fun indeed over here. And remember, not that too long ago, we had White House officials in the Trump administration basically laughing with glee at the idea that they could absolutely crash our economy and boot Keir Starmer out. That's very worrying indeed. Very worrying indeed. So, as always, let me know what you think down below. And of course, as always, you can hit the like, hit the share button. Of course, down below, of course, there's links to the Patreon page, the Buy Me Coffee link, where you can buy me coffee, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, the Pony Club down below as well. Thank you very much to everyone who does support that. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.